What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I am BDLM, coming with a game from the Join Dota League. This is between BMZ and Team Synergy Gaming. I have been trying to get the opportunity to cast a game by BMZ, captained by Gino Beam, who is actually on episode 101 of the Dota On Demand podcast. Got to come by and just talk about some of the games that they've been playing for the league. And here we are, finally in the playoffs, actually getting to cast one of their games. Already getting into the draft here, have Lycan, Tinker, Faceless Void, and Viper banned out. And the Death Prophet picked up first by BMZ. Now, I know that this is a hero that they prioritize trying to get their hands on, like using the Death Ball strategy to help get themselves through the games. So I'm really curious. I imagine they're going to wind up running it in the middle lane, but we will have to wait to see until we get into the game. As for the Dire, curious to see what they pick up here first. Already burning some of the reserve time to try to look for a first pick. I would expect perhaps a Razor to come out. Managed to make it through the first round of bans. But they're actually going to start with the Rubik, so maybe hoping to try to steal the Exorcism back for these team fights. Be curious to see if they look to go for something like a Murano off the back of the Rubik to go with the Telekinesis. Interesting to see that they would prioritize that so early on in the draft, especially when all they've seen so far is the Death Prophet. Although, just about no matter what he sees, oh man, Silencer getting picked up. I am super excited to see the Silencer. You normally tend to see this hero played in the carry role. If you see him in the professional scene, you wind up going for that Aghanims, go for the Refresher, and just try to completely shut down the enemy team with those ultimates. Now, of course, he is susceptible early to ganks, getting picked off, but super strong hero. I'm curious to see, maybe he could be run middle, get his levels there, get some farm as well. Does great in the 1-versus-1 matchup scenarios. But a little bit of silence here on both sides of the board. Now we go back into the bans. I'm curious to see how Gino Beam sees this playing out as far as the Silencer pick. I don't hate its support. But the Wraith King actually being banned out there. So another hero that would actually be able to be mobile as far as roles are concerned. Being able to switch from carry to support depending on the need of the draft. These games are really interesting because you have no idea what any of these teams are going to be doing necessarily. You can try to do your research on the Dota buff or by looking at people's profiles, but it's neat to see teams like Synergy here who just go for a pick that you might consider off the wall, going for it so early as well, trying to ensure that they get it. Perhaps it's something they run a lot. Afraid that Be More Zen might be aware that they enjoy running the hero, picking it up this early in the draft. Perhaps they're going for challenge mode, just picking up all-in heroes. Tidehunter getting banned out. Doom as well. I feel like BMZ are pretty much getting everything they want out of their draft here. Both teams are, I would imagine, going for the Rubik and the Silencer to start. Of course, if the Exorcism does get off ahead of time, then Silencer's ultimate really kind of not very effective against Death Prophet. Really the same for Razor. If he's able to get the Eye of the Storm off, he's able to get the Link. Silencer's last word, or the Global Silence, pardon me, will not be super effective. And wow, Bristleback now coming out. This is interesting, picking that into the Silencer. That's, I feel like, a little dangerous. Hero that really likes to be able to cast those spells, if for no other reason than to get the Warpath stacks. But that up against Undying, pretty hard counter. So I'm curious to see what Synergy do. They see all the cores now for Be More Zen, so they would have the opportunity to try to counterpick if they like. But it's really interesting to see this Undying come out. So looking for a really aggressive start to the game. I'm curious to see where they lane the Undying. Played in the support role, I don't know how it would go with the Rubik. Really, I mean, this whole draft from Synergy feels a bit wonky. Not necessarily in a bad way, but you really don't know where any of these pieces are going to wind up being put on the board. Looks like they are trying to secure some sort of team fight potential with off the backs of the Silencer and the Undying using that Tombstone, but I have to see how it works for them. Once all these heroes group together for Be More Zen, what is it that Team Synergy is going to look to do to fight them off? They do have the Curse of the Silent, which is going to be able to do a lot to try to dissuade any kind of push, but hey, Darkseer coming out now, so looking for those vacuum wall combinations. Could be pretty big up against a Razor. I do like that pick. Now, I feel like this sort of puts everything into perspective. We can sort of figure out what the team's looking to do here. Imagine it's going to be Darkseer in the off lane. We'll look to most likely see the support Undying, support Rubik, the core Silencer. So could see that potentially being an aggressive tri-lane, but if they're shut down here, and that could be a likely possibility with that Earthshaker being able to disrupt these team fights, these early fights so well. Could be difficult if they don't get the start they want. They start to struggle with the levels. Death Prophet, Razor able to get ahead of the Silencer. Could be disastrous. Disruptor being banned out, so a really neat choice there. Would have liked seeing that with Be More Zen. Would have offered them a lot of control. You know, this Be More Zen lineup, it is a bit greedy. They really are going to need to get those early towers. Everything they have, all of these cores, they want some sort of first, second item. Even the Earthshaker, he's going to want his Blink Dagger. And while he can still be effective with the Fissure, without the Blink Dagger, you know that's the direction he's looking to go. So I'm wondering what is really going to be the hard 5 here for Be More Zen. They still have to make their last choice for a ban, so they could be looking to ban against somebody mid, although the Silencer could be run there. So again, even though that we have this Darkseer that sort of screams off lane, we're still really not exactly sure what Synergy's plan is, and that's definitely a strength of their draft here. You pretty much know what Be More Zen are going to do. Off-laning the Bristleback, wind up running the Death Prophet middle, I would assume, and then the Razor safe lane. They could also run the Razor mid, however. And they might like that up against the Silencer, even with just the 1 point in the Unstable Current up against the Last Word. Razor really only needs to get the link off. He wouldn't necessarily have to put a lot of points in a Plasma Field in order to be successful in the game. Just getting a lot of right-click damage from the static link could be helpful, but then again, you do have the wall to consider, so. The nice thing about the Silencer pick is I feel like a lot of the cores for Be More Zen, it's not awful for them to get BKBs, but it's going to be a little uncomfortable for some of them. Bristleback could certainly get away with it. Oh man, Chaos Knight. Well, now I'm excited. Now we know exactly what's going on here. It is going to be a hard farming Chaos Knight. They're going to be running that Silencer middle. Man, when's the last time you've seen a Chaos Knight? I mean, Phantasm buff, come on. Why is he in every game? That 50% chance to spawn an extra illusion. But that's a pretty nasty lane. The Earthshaker is really gonna be the deciding factor, I think. It's really a lot of weight on his shoulders in the early part of this game. Is he going to be able to stop the engagements coming out from Chaos Knight, Undying, and Rubik? The Telekinesis is going to put somebody in a really unfortunate position. So will the Reality Rift. And when you consider that the Undying Tombstone is going to be able to do a lot of work in that situation, if it gets placed well, it's going to mean these position-altering abilities for Team Synergy are going to have that much more effect. Let those zombies get a couple extra hits in. Have a pretty durable lineup from Synergy as well, between the Undying, the Darkseer, and the Chaos Knight. But they really are going to need the Chaos Knight to initiate with. I'm curious to see if Rubik, even Darkseer, look to go for Blink Daggers to try to help initiate. But this does really feel like they're pretty much going to be dropping Global Silence and praying. They can get ahead of the Exorcism, get ahead of Razor's ultimate, and the Skywrath Mage will actually be the last pick out, so a lot of range for Be More Zen. Long range initiation between the Fissure, the Concussive Shot. I really like this. Skywrath should be fairly safe here to sit back, although, again, Silencer is on the board, so there's a lot of potential for these supports to get shut down once Silencer gets online. I feel like the early part of this game is really going to determine a lot of the flow. There is a lot of late game potential really on both sides, but it will be very important to see how quickly Silencer can get up the Aghanim Scepter. So here in the middle lane, we are going to have Silencer being played by 24. We are going to have Star. Oh, he just doesn't have a name. This poor Chaos Knight. He's just sgstar.net, and they all have the StarNet. What are we going to call him? Anyway, Red Hook is going to be taking the Rubik, and I love that skin. It's so cool. Back in the fountain still, we have you and me playing the Undying, and I can't forget the Darkseer being played by Tarzan. And for the Radiant side of the board, it's going to be Striker OD on the Skywrath Mage. Genobeam, Team Captain, taking up the Earthshaker. Orange will be playing the Razor. Lovely Vipositor on the Bristleback. And, of course, a pause goes out. Bonk. He's got a stylish set going here on the Death Prophet.
30 seconds.
So it looks like they will be having Orange in the safe lane, based on what I know about these guys. Lovely Vipositor will be playing it off lane. We're going to see Bonk in the mid lane. And you can see this early aggression. Look at them. They're really trying to get an early start. I'm surprised really to see that they are going to be going in an offensive lane. That's pretty interesting. I would expect them to maybe go aggro instead. But they are going to be playing this defensive, so they want that Chaos Knight to get a strong start. Looks like he's going to be going for an early drums. Maybe for the Arland as well. I kind of like the idea of getting the Chaos Knight with the Silencer. They have a little bit of good initiation there with the Reality Rift. If he's able to get himself a good start, he can help make some space for that Silencer who's going to be able to get his Aghanims, get the Refresher online. And if he's ever able to afford the Sheepstick, it's going to be really nice against the Bristleback as well, being able to turn off the Bristleback ability. Pardon my shenanigans here with my... Oh god, how do you do it? How do you do it? Oh god! Sign up, friends. This is I give up. Offline, there we go. Alright, great success. Darkseer disconnecting. Waiting for him to come back into the game or to get this started. So Silencer bought his own tangos. That's kind of interesting. Didn't get the pull from his teammates. We have a Soul Ring recipe up for the Undying. That's pretty cool. Pretty neat idea. Has a lot of regeneration too. Let's go up in this middle lane. Maybe expecting to fight a lot early on. A lot of regeneration all around. A smoke also picked up for the Rubik, so we might look to see some early rotations. Undying, not the best for the rotating capability, but Rubik certainly can come and try to disrupt Death Prophet. Look over at the Radiant, see if they have any interesting pickups. They do have the Tangos pulled onto the Death Prophet, looking to go for that early bottle. Earthshaker already prepared with Sentry Wards, looking to de-ward, limit the Dire Vision. Wow, 2 sets of sentries. So they really are looking to shut down Vision early. Looks like Grizz will be going for an early Aquila. So I guess the key for this game to me is the timing that Be More Zen looked at Death Ball versus when Silencer is able to get his Ags and when Chaos Knight is able to get, I want to say, his second item. BKB is going to be super important in this game. But by that same token, you saw the static link that's going to be able to go through it. The exorcism damage is all physical, so... But against the Skywrath Mage, you can always justify a BKB. That's going to be interesting, too, when you look back at this Silencer pick. He's kind of a hard hero to maneuver with. Force Staff doesn't hurt to try to move around. But really, at the end of the day, you have a lot of long-range initiation coming up from Be More Zen. You have the Fissure, you have the Concussive Shot, like I mentioned earlier. Eventually, you're going to see a Blink Dagger up on that Earthshaker if they're able to get themselves a good start to the game, get some early towers. And even the silence from the Death Prophet has a lot of potential to disrupt. You can see the Undying looking to sit on the outskirts of the fights, come in, throw the decays, try to keep himself around, keep himself viable in the team fights. Silence from Death Prophet could really turn that around. Looks like there are some issues about the issues. Dire's saying that they're having some ping issues, disconnect still from the Darkseer. I'm really curious to see what he looks to build here. He's actually been pulled some tangos, has a ward ready to go, sitting on 625 gold. So I'm curious to see how he starts. You know, this is actually a great combination that BMZ have to go up against the Darkseer. They do have the long range, and they are also going to have the silence to be able to stop the surge from going off on Darkseer. That could be really tough for him in the bottom lane, trying to keep himself alive, trying to get himself the experience that he so desperately needs. He's really going to have to rely on that long-range Ion Shell farm in order to get the items he wants. Shiva's, I feel like, could be a really strong choice for him too. Try to slow down the Bristleback, slow down the Razor, keep them off of him. But yeah, I feel like BMZ, they got a lot of the heroes that they wanted. I know they like running the Bristleback. I know they love the Death Prophet. Gino Beam, when he came on the show, really talking about how Bonk is able to help them and how he's a strong player in that middle lane. And getting off to a strong start there really helps open up a lot of doors for them in their strategies. Darkseer finally comes back. Oh, they're ready for it. They're ready for glory. So here we go. No smoke for the Radiant here. They're just trying to man mode it, just walking in. Probably going to try to, get some wards down. So C1 to block the pool camp. Don't want SG to have a prime defensive position. And everyone stops. Everyone stops moving. It looks like Rubik. Oh no! In comes the concussive shot. The link being put up by Razor. It cancels early. Telekinesis is available. The long-range Fisher. They have a lot of damage coming out here, but they're almost out of room. The Telekinesis picks up Striker Odu. Gets dropped back, stunning some of his opponents, and this might go all wrong for them. Orange taking so much damage, and he will actually be the first death, and this is not the start that BMZ were looking for. Gino Beam trying to run his way out, but it looks like the zombies have applied a bit of their slow there. Earthshaker might survive this. Lovely Ovipositor on the Bristleback, trying to get himself away. Does have the regen on him. No, finally picks up a punch on the back, and Chaos Knight, that 325 movement speed off the bat. Wow, this is a really tough spot to be in. There actually looks like maybe going to keep their Death Prophet up here for the time being. No, she is going to look to rotate. Man, that is not the start they wanted. Silencer already with 4 stolen in level 2. This is really tough. Look at this. Lovely Ovipositor. He's already lost all of his mana. There's no way he's going to be able to stand here. Earthshaker had to... Well, he actually died. Fell in the river. So, you know, even just the time that all these other heroes had to go back to base, had to sort of get themselves back in fighting condition, losing them even more time. And you can see now in this bottom lane, hey, Darkseer. Talking about earlier... the potential trouble that he could have down here. But actually it looks like, the Fissure just missed in the top lane. Not able to catch out that Chaos Knight. So they aren't looking to go up against that Darkseer. They are looking to go aggressive up here, which after the start they've had, might not be the best choice. They might want to try to make sure Razor's able to get his free farm, get the mech up, get the Ring of Aquila. I know they like those items. They like being able to death ball, and this is a hard start. Telekinesis actually picking up the Skywrath Mage. A Great Fissure comes out, the 2-man stun, and now Link is going to discourage any kind of follow-up. Undying still wants to go. It looks like Striker OD still will fall. 0-4, not the start they wanted in the least bit. Tombstone being deployed. They might be able to farm this up, but it's actually going to despawn, so really nothing for BMZ to get out of that engagement. Nice thing is, actually, they do have the Bristleback leading the scoreboard for last hit, so at least he is able to sort of get something for his team there. But he's going to have a hard time with this Ion Shell. It's going to be quite a nuisance. These creeps are... He's going to have to try to last it onto the tower a lot. It's going to be difficult for him to do. But oh no, looks like Gino Beam, he might have overextended here. He doesn't even have the mana for a Fissure. He just now gets it. Curious to see if he looks to just throw one out to sort of block them off. He's trusting in the move speed, the 310. Actually, as we see in the middle lane, Bonk in a little bit of trouble. He wants to see if he can take the 24, but oh man, the last word hits, does so much damage. Bonk just barely survives using the bottle regeneration. Times it well. Make sure he doesn't get autoed, but a tough spot for him to be in. He's going to have to wait for the courier to come out. He's only going to get himself up to about 300 health off this Tango, and he's out. He really needs that courier coming to him. I'm curious to see when the upgrade actually gets applied to the courier as well. The start they've had, these supports, they're going to be having a hard time. They've invested a lot of money into these sentry wards, so they're going to be far off the money to upgrade the courier, far off the money for their boots. And Shaker is definitely a hero that would appreciate that. Still on the level 1. When you compare that across the board to the level 2 Rubik, it's really tough. Here, Orange just trying to keep the Chaos Knight on his toes. Trying to drop the nukes from range, but another disconnect coming out on the Darkseer. So, I mean, I feel like this says a lot here. Hero levels. Silencer, this is exactly what he wants. Not only did he get himself some early levels, he's got himself the rune control. He was able to get the first rune here, the regen, which you know the Death Prophet would have loved to have. He's got himself his levels. He's starting to get his farm up. Has the rune control. So he's looking to have himself a pretty impactful game. Looking at the supports, we even see that the Undying has that 1 level advantage here. Chaos Knight has the 1 level advantage over the Razor. And this hero, just from the levels in Reality Rift, getting the extra range, so helpful to set up the kind of kills that this tri-lane is clearly designed to put together. And it's interesting because you see the aggressive tri-lane coming out from BMZ. This actually sort of plays right into SG's favor. They're like, okay, we were built to fight, so we're going to get to do what we do best instead of playing in a defensive position like they may have expected off the bat to go up against the Bristleback. Here we go. It looks like they want some blood. They're going in for the Chaos Knight now, actually, who might be in more trouble than the Skywrath Mage. But no, it looks like he will wind up going down. Will the Chaos Knight? No, it doesn't look like it. That 325 movement speed really doing work. And Orange, oh, he tries to cut back to go through. He wants to see if he can pick up a kill on the Rubik. He's going to get it, but at what cost? He does have 56 damage absorbed. Bonk comes in, and oh, they're not able to kill the zombies, so they will actually wind up getting the kill on the Razor. They are finally able to put themselves on the board, be more zen. 1-6 now. Chaos Knight is having to retreat back to the base. Once he gets some boots up, I feel like he's going to be really scary to deal with up here. Razor has 1 point in the unstable current. So the 358 movement speed, so he is running a little bit faster than the Chaos Knight at this point. But oh man, this bottom lane. Lovely Positor is doing a great job keeping up with the last hits. He's tied with the Silencer, so that's awesome. But he's also tied with the Darkseer, who's just able to be super obnoxious with the Ion Shell. Keeping the creeps under the tower is going to make it hard for Bristleback to keep up. Look at this, he's even feeling ballsy enough to go under the tower himself. There's really not a whole lot that Bristleback's going to be able to do. He's going to have to spend the mana to try to get last hits with the Quill Spray. Oh, looks like a little bit of aggression actually routed here in the top lane by the Skywrath Mage. So Silencer is on that level 6. So this even feels more uncomfortable for more Zen because now they can't even try to look to gain any ground in this top lane. They're still committing to this aggressive tri-lane. They're actually beating the Chaos Knight for CS with the Razor, so that's great for them. They desperately need that. They're going to need the mech to come online to sort of combat the global silence. They have to be able to keep everybody alive through the global silence if they're going to look to be successful in this game. Really look at this Silencer. He's already sitting on the Ogre Club, so he's just looking for the survivability. Not too concerned about the mana. He's had enough so far. Death Prophet does have an Invis Rune bottled. Eats a Curse the Silent. Interesting skill build here coming out. 1 point in the Glaive of Wisdom, 1 point in Last Word. Prioritizing Curse. Oh man, there comes the silence from Silencer, living up to his name. And oh man, Chaos Knight pulls Beam back into his death. Are they going to be able to pick up Orange though? Looks like he might just barely survive. The silence coming out is going to stop the decay. that may have saved his life, but Striker OD is going to forfeit his own here. Killing spree for the Undying, and wow, they even forced a rotation coming out from the Bristleback. Is this going to be enough for a kill? It looks like he should be able to get it. There's no support coming in. It actually is right now. Chaos Knight TPing into this lane. Is there enough damage to come out? The Fissure is going to help ensure the kill. 3 to 8. A lot of back and forth here in this game. To be expected with the kind of picks we see. There you go, an effective Silencer ultimate already. Helping to secure the lead that SG have right now. And we get a look at the gold graph. They're leading by about 3,000. 2,000 experience. Uncomfortable spot to be in for sure. So it looks like they're actually switching up these lanes. Bristleback taking advantage of the fact that he's moved up here to the top lane. Is going to look to try to farm there. Razor coming down to the bottom lane. It's not going to have to deal with the level of obnoxious that the Ion Shell was being to Bristleback. Hopefully he'll be able to keep up again, but he is going to have to last it under the tower and take some damage from the Ion Shell. And it looks like they might actually switch here as well. So Darkseer was really enjoying that matchup. It's unfortunate they're going to be making the Chaos Knight move from the looks of it, though. He's probably not going to enjoy that. Although when you consider he's only on the 16 CS. I mean, that's tough. He's got to try to save up for a Scroll of TP, but right now it's actually the Darkseer and the Chaos Knight here, and hey, they might try to look for an opportunity to push here. Only one level in Witchcraft, though, for Death Prophet, so no Spirits. This is an interesting choice here to try to go for this tower. I feel like you can... the desperation is a bit palpable, trying to actually rotate Death Prophet up into this lane. Are they going to keep her there? We have two in the bottom lane, actually. Striker OD supporting Orange in this bottom lane. Going an early point into the Eye of the Storm as well. Yeah, just look at this. There's just a lack of Spirits. Lovely Avopazzer's going to try to sort of zone out the Chaos Knight as well as the Darkseer, but no, they're not getting a whole lot out of this. Stacking the two cores in this lane, but hey, if they're able to pick up a kill on the Darkseer, that might be worth it, but oh, the silence comes out. It's purely defensive. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to get anything out of this. Actually, looks like BMZ may have stuck around a little bit too long. Silencer able to get, oh, the last word, and the curse up. Bristleback able to dispel it with just enough mana for the Quill Spray, but oh, there you go. Reality Rift doing work, pulling him back. It's Chaos Knight pulling him into the grave. Interesting to see these early points in the ultimates that sometimes you don't see come out till later. Chaos Knight going for the Phantasm right at level 6. Death Prophet going for the ultimate at 6 as well with only the 1 point in Witchcraft. Razor going for the Eye of the Storm point really early as well. So expecting to be fighting. And while they did look to take the Death Prophet up to the top lane to try to get the early tower, it's actually SG that's currently poised to try to take this tier 1. Will be more Zen contest. They do have the Bristle. One little zombie here. Darkseer actually securing the haste rune. Really uncomfortable spot here for me, more Zen. They aren't going to stage any sort of defense here. Bristleback trying to absorb whatever experience he can. In the bottom lane, they have the creeps push up to the tier 1 tower, but there really isn't going to be any permanent damage that they're going to be able to do to these towers for a long time. It really is going to take the Death Prophet levels. And as you can see, they're fighting the clock. Silencer over halfway to his Aghanim Scepter. That's going to be really tough for Bristleback to deal with. Has the potential to completely shut him down. It will actually be the Bristleback going for the mech, so it won't be the Razor. Will most likely be going for that early Aghanim Scepter. Death Prophet returns to this middle lane, and again, have more fun with the Crypt Swarm. Forced to send it out. Misses, and then we'll eat the last word. So it just shows you the power of Silencer in this 1 versus 1 matchup. While we do see him a lot in the safe lane, it can be easy to forget the strength that he has in these kind of matchups. And there you go. This is what more Zen need. Oh! Are they even going to get it? It doesn't look like it. The goo wears off. The stun is enough to let Chaos Knight get away. What they can be happy about is that their cores are keeping up. Death Prophet not keeping up with the Silencer, but just behind the Darkseer. Bristleback is able to keep up. with the 2 leaders, and oh man, another silence comes out under the tier 1 tower. Bottom, Orange feeling like he's in a lot of trouble. Here's where that early point in the ultimate really helps out. Are they going to be able to pick up a kill? They do. The fissure ensures it. They're going to clean up this tombstone, stop the aggression. So a lot spent by the Dire to try to get some kills under the tower, but they're not able to put it together. These durable cores showing their strengths here for BMZ. And you know Bristleback loves this. He's getting a set under the tower. He isn't even afraid of the Chaos Knight coming in. He's really just wasting the mana throwing out the Chaos Bolt. Max stun, low damage. And here we go. Another point in Witchcraft's going to be a little bit more damage here to this tower. What did Rubik get? He got Exorcism. Oh, how unfortunate.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
He's a bit squishier than the Death Prophet, but just the fact he was able to pick that up
tower has fallen.
could be catastrophic. Wouldn't be too difficult for them to look to push a tower. Once they get the Silencer ultimate back online, he is a little bit of a slave to that cooldown. 65 seconds. He'll have the Agnum Scepter up not too long after that comes off cooldown. You'll have to wait a couple more minutes for it, but... Oh man, Silencer on an Invis rune. It looks like he's just doing some scouting, trying to decide if they want to make something happen here. He's aggressively poised here. I'm curious to see, looking for these Sentry Wards. They did look to put one here in the middle lane to try to deward the common spot by the Ancients. But other than that, didn't catch where these other sentries have gone. They've all been deployed. But really, they've managed to keep eyes on the rune spot bottom, SG, so not overly concerned. Sentries maybe not getting maximum value, but considering the way this game started, I think BMZ can at least be a little happy. They haven't lost any towers yet, so that's great for them, but the turnaround actually coming out onto Razor. He's trying to kill that Tombstone, and the ultimate coming out from Undying. The Silencer ultimate as well. He isn't going to wait for that Aghanims. Why would you when you can just pick up some int there in the middle lane? Geno Beam drops the ultimate, but is it going to be enough? Look at the Exorcism damage from Rubik. Actually doing a lot there to him, and he will wind up falling to Undying. That Tombstone's still alive. They weren't able to bring it down. Lovely Avipositor joins the fight. Are they going to try to keep going from here? They might be trying to force this. Might not be a good idea to chase. Gareth Mage will give up eventually. Low mana for the Bristleback. Has no regen on him. No completed wand to even try to use the charges to get himself a decent amount of mana to pursue, so they will back off. Darkseer surging around, looking to try to keep up the experience. Doing a great job of sort of coming together, making something happen, and splitting up again. Ensuring that they're getting the maximum amount off the map. This I can dig. I mean, I feel like Earthshaker being able to get his level 6 is really nice. Going back to see the hero levels. He is struggling with this. He is going to wind up denying his tower, so a little bit of value denied to SG. But I really like their movements, SG. They're doing a great job with their ultimates, coordinating around those. Their supports are actually doing pretty well in the levels, and a smoke comes out. Rubik and Undying looking to come up to the top lane. BMZ has come back up here to try to farm, look to push the lane. Razor denies yet another tower. Look like Darkseer threatening. They have been able to pick up the tier 1 tower bottom, so they can be happy about that. But now Chaos Knight, he will actually get picked up by the stun, and this is a great kill that they're going to pick up right here. Bristleback, he needs it, and he's going to get it. Able to put together his treads. I'm surprised to see that the Smoked Rubik and Undying weren't actually able to make it up there in time to fight. Decided against it, and there you go, another tower to come out. So the gold experience still in the favor of the Dire, but really they've held the same amount of advantage, and the kill score is getting closer and closer.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Rubik probably not looking for the oh wow, picks up the Echo Slam. It's gonna be hard to get himself in a position to make use of that, but he is able to pick up these ultimates. The Tombstone being placed aggressively to try to get some damage on this tier 1 tower as the creeps come in again. No cores here though for the Dire. This could be a tricky situation for Rubik. Look how aggressively poised he is. Tombstone probably not the best used there. Really just wound up feeding Death Prophet some gold. Silence coming up on that pesky illusion, but oh, a stun coming out on the silencer. The Agnums is complete. He does have the ultimate, and there you go. Draining the mana from the Earthshaker, from the Bristleback who need it so desperately. Look at that. Drained so much that he can no longer fissure. He is going to wind up popping the Arcane Boost to come back in, but it's going to be too late. Striker OD is going to look to go down. Bristleback gets pulled back. He gets cursed up as well. They're going to just have to retreat here, but oh, there's still so much health, so much mana here for the Dire. They are intelligently backing off after they see the buyback from the Skywrath Mage, and the Radiant go try to turn it around. A good barrage to come out, but not going to be enough damage. That Chaos Knight too tanky. And he's actually going to go for an early armlet, so he's looking to fight. Bristle, oh, runs up there, gets pulled out even further away from his team. Razor looking to come in, pick up a kill, but they are unable to do it. The Dire living life on the edge, but they get the most out of it. The Tombstones really doing some work in these team fights. The one place behind the tier 1 tower, a bit wasted, but aside from that, they've really shown themselves to be quite powerful and still not even maxed out. So Silencer, this is what I love about him. He's getting that int stacked up. He's able to get himself his power treads together. The Aghanims at the 18-minute mark, not too shabby. You saw it doing some work in that team fight. It literally stopped Earthshaker from being as effective as he wanted to be. He had to take time to get mana back in order to go back and participate in that fight, and that's something to be concerned about. Mentioned earlier that against the Death Prophet and the Razor, it's not too big of a deal if they lose their mana. They're likely going to have Exorcism. They're likely going to have Eye of the Storm already going. But the Shaker, the Bristleback, it's tough for them to deal with this Curse of the Silent, and now they're dealing with 2 instances of it. You imagine that the Refresher Orb is actually going to be the next piece of the puzzle to fit in his inventory slot. And then it's 3 instances. I do like the way the BMZ, they've been able to split up their players. They are trying to get as much farm as they can on their cores. Yule Scepter up on the Death Prophet. It's very nice for him, even just being able to get the Dispel. I feel like very nice. But really, you have to ask yourself what kind of items are really going to be the most effective here for them. Wouldn't hate a Shiva's. Would be some nice control, help deal with the Chaos Knight a little bit. Give whoever gets Reality Rifted in a little bit of a chance to get away. But abusing the movement speed that some of their heroes have is going to be pretty critical. Here is the scary part, though. Chaos Knight has been doing a really good job so far. He's coming to force. He's almost finished this armlet. He's going to be able to start putting points into the Chaos Strike, but oh no. What are they dropping it for? What was the intention of that ultimate? I guess towards the middle lane, looking to try to apply pressure there, and Chaos Knight, he doesn't care that they can cast spells again. Geno Beam gets stunned, trying to lay out that fissure. The Telekinesis picks him up. Will he get to Echo Slam? Yes, he does. This is going to be enough damage, though. He does fall to the Chaos Knight, but ensures his death, and then there you go. Eye of the Storm doing some damage to the Rubik, going to kill him. Razor gets another deny on a tower, and they're able to farm up the Tombstone, so actually a really nice trade for BMZ. Unfortunately, that Silencer ultimate used for not a whole lot, and BMZ go okay. Sounds like a good fight for us to take. Bristleback looking to go for the pipe.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Trying to deal with some of that magic damage to come out.
Dire's middle tower
But this is looking like another tower for BMZ. They pretty much get to play around the Silencer ultimate. This is why the Refresher is so important.
Dire's middle tower
Not only just to apply the Curse of the Silent, but they have to make sure that that ability is up and available whenever they want to fight.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It is really a lot of the control that SG have. And wow, oh no, Silencer. He TP's in, but it looks like he's gonna fall. The barrage doing way too much damage. Is the wall out? It finally gets deployed. Razor on 112 damage. Look at him just going crazy here. That illusion on the Bristleback. Is he gonna be able to make it out? He's just barely trying to make his way, applying the damage, but it looks like the stun's gonna come out and ensure the kill. A 2-for-2 trade at the end of the day. And oh man, another double kill for Orange. He has the Aghanims. Is he actually going to be able to pick up a kill on the Chaos Knight? With the return damage on the Plasma Field, he gets himself an Ultra Kill. SG, they try to get the kill, and oh, the trash talk by the Orange. No mana for this man. Surviving on the 30 health. You can understand the fingers going a little bit crazy there.
Is under attack.
He actually did ensure that there was enough damage to kill his own teammate because of the wall, but hey, at the end of the day, that's a complete team wipe. And the advantage, the Silencer, was able to sort of get himself in the beginning of the game, trying to be not so effective, and there's no global silence. So now the last hits. I mean, just look at this. For the stressful start to this game, Razor, the Bristleback, are actually able to get themselves on top. Last hit's nice. Razor with the ultra kill, as well as the double kill he had before that, actually pushing up to 8-3-3. So really enjoying those engagements. Now looking to build himself a BKB. Can't hate that. Deal with all these stuns to come out, and also to get rid of the Silencer ultimate as well. And Death Prophet. I mean, look at this. These heroes that had such a tough time are now finding themselves with the luxury money to get whatever they want. Is he going to look to go for the Mystic Staff? I imagine oh no, he's actually going to look for... Silencer actually goes down again. But are they going to pick up a kill on the Orange? A 4-second stun will actually give 1,000 gold back to the Dire. Quite back and forth here. Man, I'm really surprised to see Death Prophet going for the point booster and the vitality booster. Dire playing so aggressive here, looking to try to get another pick off if they can. They still have 30 seconds without the Razor, and this tower might be forfeit. Bristleback posturing to try to defend the tower, as she may reconsider. They might want to back off here. The Armlet is up for Chaos Knight, so that is nice. Undying still struggling to put together this mech. That could be the burst heal they need to help keep themselves alive in these fights. The drums will come up now, so once these team fight items come up, SG might be back in a strong position. The gold, the experience now in the Radiant favor. But I have to say, what are you going to look to do with the Soul Booster? It's really just going to be the Bloodstone. And I guess they're really hoping to keep the momentum that they've been building up. Wouldn't hate a Sheep Stick. I wouldn't hate a Shiva's. But that's not for this game. As they look to go in, the Blink Dagger actually up for Earthshaker, getting his all important item. But there you go. There's the Global Silence to come out. And Chaos Knight looks to turn. He is going to pick up one. He has the Phantasms out. Is he going to be able to catch this Razor? It's going to be tough. The Link comes out, and this is all of a sudden a really bad position. Although, look at that. He's almost able to pick up a kill. Onto the Death Prophet. He now turns around, is going to look to lay off the damage. And all this time that Chaos Knight spends alive, he's going to wind up surviving. There's the support that finally comes in that he was missing earlier. Why he's keeping up this chase, I'm not really sure. I would probably be playing it safe at this point and just get myself back to base. But Silencer picks up one on the Skywrath, and now Bristleback. There aren't a whole lot of slows, there aren't any stuns here, but it looks like the damage they're able to do with the Ion Shell with the Surge might be enough. Actually, is he going to be able to get a return kill? No, he's not. Darkseer is able to pick it up. Complete team wipe. They may be a slave to that Silencer ultimate, but Therico is just completely winning them a team fight. 30 seconds until Bristle comes up, and 70 seconds until the Silencer ultimate's up. It's really pretty much guaranteed to have the ultimate available by the time the next big fight comes up. Yasha coming up on the Chaos Knight. Wonder if he's going to be going for Manta or SNY. It'd be pretty late to get an SNY, but I wouldn't be thoroughly surprised to see it. The Manta would just be vicious. Just completely surround somebody. It's kind of tough to deal with, especially for squishy supports like the Skywrath Mage. Movement speed won't help you if you're completely surrounded, blocked in. This is the sort of unfortunate part now for having taken all those towers. They got their first set of items here on BMZ. But now they're going to be struggling to find some more. They're going to have to win the team fights. They're going to have to look to take the remaining two Tier 2 towers. Sort of get to their next set of items. And in the meantime, Undying, sitting on that mech, Also on a ring of
Radiant's
health, so
middle
might be looking to
tower
go for a
is under
pipe.
attack.
But hey, few more Zen, they're coming again. Looking for a fight again in this top lane. Looking to try to get on this tier 2. It's at full health. Dire have seen them early enough. They should be able to move up if they want to. Silencer sort of watching the map, it looks like, trying to decide if he wants to come in, and oh my lord, the silence is not enough to save Rubik. Too much damage coming out from the Skywrath Mage. There's that long-range initiation. The Fissure looking to set up that stun and set up the return damage. Speaking of being slaved, the cooldowns, the Tombstone already deployed. 45 seconds so that's available again. Radiant should have dived the tower, but they really don't need to. They can just sit here with the Exorcism. Look through the damage to the tower. Oh, the Exorcism's over, and oh man, the Dire, they want a piece. A great vacuum. The Curse comes out on 3, and then a great Echo Slam. Though the return, stunning all 4. Orange comes back, he has the static link up. He's looking to turn around and do some damage. He's able to pick up only 28, but it might just be enough. They're looking to pressure some more. Bristleback out of mana, but he really wants this kill on the Silencer. Could mean everything for them if they're able to take him down. But it looks like the Pursuit is actually going to get him killed. Are they going to get the kill on the Silencer? No, he's able to bottle himself back up. They still want it, though. Is the Plasma Field going to be enough? Yes, it is, but Orange will pay for it with his life. Undying now. Looking to be in an awkward situation. The Tombstone to come out to ensure. Last kill there. Everyone on such low health. They really want to kill the Death Prophet. The Great Fissure 3-man. It's actually going to open up doors for Bonk. With the Death Prophet, he's able to actually get one, but a great steal from the Rubik is going to mean a kill for him. Rubik actually picks himself up a triple. You know what? He earned it, grabbing that Fissure and ensuring the kill onto Death Prophet. Back and forth. Silencer does a little bit of trash talking back. Look at these wards for the Dire. They really do look to want to control a lot of the map with these wards, control the runes still. And even when they're put on their back foot in these defensive situations, you saw how effective their lineup was able to be. Great coordination, great teamwork there. As soon as they saw Death Prophet's ultimate go down, they jump on it. They look to initiate, and they're able to take a great fight off of it. That vacuum set up an amazing Curse of the Silent. Really did a lot of work. You saw there, Bristleback trying to run through this area, trying to keep up the pursuit to kill Silencer, but no mana left. But here's something concerning. We're still looking at the exact same item setup for the Silencer. Nothing in his stash. Is there anything on the courier? No. So he's been struggling. They've been able to win that last team fight, but he hasn't been able to farm the way he wants to. And a Blink Dagger? Undying. Alright. The casual Ring of Health. Of course, and oh no, it actually looks like an engagement here on the Bristleback. Darkseer looking to join. The Fissure actually blocking here. Look at that. The Rubik taking advantage of the spell, and now he actually has the Quilt Spray, but he does not want to mess with this. The mech, I mean, there you go. That's why it's such an important pickup here. Rubik on the cusp of death, healed back up. And they're able to ensure a kill onto the Bristle. 3 and 6, unfortunately, in this game. But they can fall back on the farm. He hasn't been able to get the gold that way. Has the pipe completed. Looks like he's going to be going for an AC next. Can't hate that choice. Not a whole lot of heroes to take advantage of the attack speed, but hey, the minus armor is great. And oh, the Force Staff is actually going to save Rubik's life. But hey, the Blind Fissure comes out. Let's see if we can get these Ancient Thunder Wizards to work in our favor. Nope, Force Staff too strong. Rubik actually gets himself out. Silencer, oh, getting chased down here by Death Prophet. He's actually going to turn. Look to put out some damage. Death Prophet is actually able to pick up the Bloodstone. Might want to be saving up for buyback first. But this is a really tricky situation to try to pick this up. They did just lose the last team fight heavily. The Bloodstone is going to help him deal with the Curse of the Silent, all the mana he's losing from that. Allow him to keep throwing out the Crypt Swarms, but I don't know. This is, if it works, it's going to be great. If it doesn't, then it's going to feel like a wasted item slot. It's a huge gamble here, based on how the game's been going. It's not like they've been enjoying victory after victory. It's going to be interesting to see where the stacks go. Oblivion Staff up for the Silencer. He's actually been putting together the money quite well here. Farming up in that top lane. As the Oblivion staff going to be looking to finish up that refresher. But, oh, as a fight breaks out bottom, poor Rubik gets himself into a bad situation, doing some rock climbing. Can't get his way back down, and Undying pops the ultimate, but he's gonna have a hard time getting out of here. But oh, get some help from his friends. Chaos Knight able to bring Orange up, and you can see all the damage coming out there. The BKB isn't gonna stop a Chaos Knight. The movement speed though might actually save his life. The goo, it's actually gonna help keep Chaos Knight off of the Razor. Silencer, oh, now gonna fall to the Death Prophet. What looks like a great engagement there by the Dire is actually going to be completely turned around, and, well, there you go. The Ultra kill for Death Prophet answers my question. Which way will the stacks go? They're going to go up, up, up. Now 13 here for the Death Prophet. Able to keep these cores alive. The Goop just barely helping keep Razor alive. I think he managed that high movement speed. That's where I think I would have liked to see the Shivas, but, you know, they got the stacks on the Bloodstone, so they are getting the value out of it. Now looking to push this tower 20 seconds, really, until there's any sort of response from the Dire. It's going to be longer than that. Just getting everybody up to the tower, and that is not going to be enough time. Razor pops the ultimate. Just looking to do some damage to the Raxus here. Wow, they even lose the top tower in the meantime. So Rubik doing what he can to try to put up basically a distraction. They get the melee and they don't even care about the range. They wisely look to back up, but was it too late? Bonk silenced up, and also the Razor stunned there by the Rubik, who was able to get Fissure again, so able to take advantage of that early Rubik pick. The Yules is going to help dissuade any sort of pursuit, but hey, they're looking to keep it going. Oh, Gina Beam comes in from behind! He's able to get the Rubik with a beautiful Fissure Echo Slam combination, and now that cues Razor to come back into the fight, but he doesn't have the ultimate. He's not really able to do anything. He pops the BKB to keep himself alive, but really, he is just in a really awkward situation if the Dire look to turn around. He's really going to have to depend on his teammates to stay alive here. The ultimate comes out from Silencer. Death Prophet looking to be on their retreat. Does have the ultimate available. They could look to turn it around if they want, but no. Lovely Imposter is going to fall too quickly. Razor now looking to come in. They want to use the Death Prophet ultimate, hoping it can do enough damage, but not able to keep the health up. Will Yules to try to keep himself alive, but now you can see that the BKB has already been used by Razor. It's causing him to take a lot of heat. And, oh man, the Dire, they're falling so fast in the health. They're able to pick up some kills over this extended teamfight duration, allowing Skywrath Mage enough time to get back in on the fight. And now it's Undying who's going to be trying to get himself out. Winds up soul ripping not a whole lot. This Skywrath Mage Illusion trying to do as much work as he can for the Undying, but hey, there's no way you're going to outrun the Razor.
The Underscape will not be kind.
Such a long team fight. Such a long duration fight. They're able to get the Death Prophet ultimate up again. That just goes back to the tanky cores. Staying alive long enough to allow for the cooldowns to come up, allow for the support to come in. Saw the Skywrath Mage able to come back. Looks like he'll be building himself a Rod of Atos. So that'll be a nice pickup from him. For him, even just the survivability can be really nice. Razor now in 4K gold. Imagine he's going to go for the heart. Sells the Aquila, and oh, he's actually going to go for the refresher. Not concerned about the survivability, just wants to destroy these towers. Destroy these buildings. And this is going to be a Rosh attempt. Looks like it. Okay, the lightning doesn't work on Roshan, but, you know, it looks scary. He's shaking in his boots. And I actually realized that I have my rain effects turned on, so I apologize for that. Make sure those are all for the next game. A 2-game series here for the playoffs of the Join Dota League. Game between SG and BMZ. Such a strong start for SG, but now they're fighting with an experience advantage, actually. The gold disadvantage. And of course, being one Rax building down, 92 health left on the range tracks. You're going to have to babysit it if they want to try to keep any kind of pressure in that lane. But oh no, Rubik. He is going to wind up falling so fast. He actually gets denied to the neutral, so okay. Could have been worse. And they're actually looking to to force this with the Rubik down, even though they don't have the Exorcism. Oh, they're actually going to catch up the Chaos Knight. Why was he still in this middle lane? We may never know. He's looking to pop everything he has, but just falling too quickly. The remainder of the Death Prophet ultimate. Oh, the ultimate coming in. The dunk from Earthshaker. And now they're looking to take down the Darkseer. The Rod of Atos keeping him slowed down. Trying to keep him in range for the kill. Razor looking to pursue. Is doing that damage with the ultimate. Sucking out 140 damage with the Link. And it doesn't look like Undying is going to make it out here. Going to keep him stunned up. And that's actually going to ensure the completed Refresher Orb on the Razor. They should be able to take the lane with this. And not just this middle one, which will be easy enough to kill. Bonk. Just running through the base. He ain't got no worries. Doesn't even care about the range tracks. He knows his creeps have his back. They're going to look to do that damage. There you go. Creeps in the base. They're going to look to do work on this tower. Darkseer trying to escape. Is there going to be any kind of follow-up, any kind of engage from the Dire? Any sort of defense? There's really just the Rubik Fade Bolt, as well as the Darkseer Ion Shells to try to do as much work as they can, but the double ultimate from Razor. The fort comes out. They're trying to buy as much time as they can, but look at the damage to come out from that ultimate. Tearing Darkseer down. He's looking to go for the Shivas, but not going to have anywhere near in time. 2 lanes of Raxus is a tough spot to come back from. What's interesting is, you know, based on the pacing of this game, the way it wound up playing out, I would have expected the Dire to have a little bit easier time. They got the levels they needed, they got the farm they wanted on the Silencer to get them that Aghanims. They were able to take some crucial fights earlier on, but they weren't able to build enough of an advantage off of it. Now their own Ancients being farmed. Bristleback myself in a dangerous situation, but okay. This is what SG's hopes are on. This Refresher Orb. Finally put together by the Silencer, who, despite having 177 creeps killed, seems to be in a not a great position, but oh man, Vacuum comes out the wall. They wind up going through it. The Silence comes out as well. The double Silence. Is it enough though? Look, Lovely Avipositor's still alive. He's out of mana. So is the Razor. He does have enough to get off the ultimate though, and that's really all he cares about. Bonk will fall, but that's only the Aegis. The Reality Rift looking to pull Orange back in, and oh, you look and see what the slow does off of the Razor passive, but Bonk comes up, is able to pop the ultimate. Hadn't used it yet in the fight. Chaos Knight trying to do what he can. He's able to pick up another kill. That gives him the double. He's looking to pursue. The stun put out on the Bonk, but do they really want to fight into the Spirits? They want to try, but Darkseer, he's going to pay for it. Look at the damage that's coming out. They have to stop. If they push this issue, they will pay for it with their lives. As bad as they wanted that Skywrath Mage, just barely living. There's that value. Health in that Rod of Atos. You have to keep him alive. Manta completed for Chaos Knight. A good engage. They were able to pop the Aegis. They were able to take the fight. Here's the unfortunate part. They come back to their base to find some of their houses destroyed. These poor little buildings. They didn't do anything to anybody. Taking so much damage from these creeps, and you know, it's really just sort of up to the Darkseer to try to handle these. He really can't stand and fight them either. It's the sad part. 2 lanes, creeps. With the Rax Silence, it's very difficult for him to deal with. There's really nobody else to supply the counter push. Silencer, after that amazing start, has only managed to pick up 18 int through this game. Hasn't been able to get the kills or be in range in order to pick up the extra int. Now 14 charge Bloodstone, and there you go. There's the Shivas. Picked up by Bonk. Really great item for both sides of the board to pick up, as you see it. As the next item of choice for Darkseer. The problem I see now is that there really is no item that's going to catapult the Dire forward. There's really no big item that they're looking to push up. They have the Refresher. You saw the double ultimate coming out there in the last team fight being very effective. The Shiva's completed on Darkseer. Okay, that's cool. But there's no huge leap in their potential. And that's really what they need. They're fighting a damagey core down, as they have the Darkseer there for that utility, but really
is only going to have the Razor illusion to try to do damage for him. So if 2 lanes of Rax was enough of an uphill battle, you also have to look at BMZ lineup, just having a superior late game. Able to pull together from the start they had, and in comes team fight. A beautiful wall, followed up by that vacuum. Orange looks to pop the BKB and the refresher, looking to get the storm bolts flowing, but oh, Bonk falls almost immediately. He is going to be coming back very shortly, but Geno Beam looking to set up the dunk. He's able to get it, but then just gets torn apart. Or does he? He's able to land out the stun, and he's actually able to pick up a kill there. Razor sitting in, taking all the damage. Does finally give up 2 int. Skywrath Mage also bought back, looking to try to get back to the fight as soon as he could, but not able to get there in time. A great team fight, but Death Prophet's coming back up. Lost the charges, but will return shortly. The tier 4 damage, tier 4 tower is taking damage. The creeps pushing into the base. For all that, there really is no greater advantage to be had by the Dire. They are able to hold on, is basically what they get for that. And at the end of the day, their tier 3 did take some damage. Their tier 4s took some damage. Winning the team fights is just not enough, and there's nobody on their team to split push. There's no one there to rat to try to get them back into this. The utility item being picked up there by the silencer. It's really unfortunate. If he had just been able to keep himself relevant on the kills, he is ahead. He does have a strong number of assists. He's second for creep kills, but at the 43-minute mark, you'd appreciate him having something like the sheep stick instead of the 4-staff. Wow, Ghost Scepter picked up by Razor, so he's really concerned about the right click still. To come out from the Chaos Knight, to come out from the silencer with the glaives. This is what really hurts about having those lanes down. The Dire can't put a strategy together. They're really just playing on their back foot, just trying to keep the lanes at bay, but they're not able to move out and move around. They do have the lanes pushed out a decent amount. They could look to smoke, perhaps, and look for an opening. But at the end of the day, they still have all 3 tier 2 towers to take. Bottom tower at half health, but really, that's the only one hurt. Roshan still has some time to come up. Actually, just spawns. They do have the Death Prophet ultimate available. And with just the way the lanes are working in their favor, they can pretty much do this. Few worries. The lanes are pushed out a little bit. The Dire can look to contest. Do they suspect this? They did see with the wards BMZ run up and then all of a sudden turn tail. The ward was just destroyed. BMZ, they look like they want to commit to this. They can't leave Roshan on such low health, but they should be aware that the Dire are looking to come in. And oh, Razor grabs the Aegis. They're looking to pursue. Oh, this could be catastrophic. This could be the nail in the coffin for SG. They pop the ultimate. They use the wall to sort of split up the fight. Razor gets pulled back into it. They're looking to keep this fight going. Razor falls. They do have the Aegis the Immortal to bring him back into the fight. The silence comes out. Bonk is able to save himself with the Yules, but lovely Avapositor will fall. The Bristle is dead. Looks like the Death Prophet is going to have to run for her life and will actually get scooped up here. Razor, who is able to bring himself back up with the Aegis the Immortal, is able to pick up 1 kill, but he will actually be torn apart by the Chaos Knight, who actually has to be a little bit careful here himself. Oh, the fissure to come out from Geno Beam, and it's actually going to buy him just enough time by the looks of it. He doesn't have a TP scroll. He has really nowhere to hide. He has to hope that the Dire basically give up from guessing wrong. And oh no, the Shivas, it's going to find him. He's looking to pick up a kill if he can.
Your time.
Tier 4 towers took some more damage, but a huge fight for SG. Really well played. I wasn't expecting that to work out for them as well as it did. They were able to completely obliterate the Razor and the Death Prophet shortly after. So still kind of looking for some durability. Looks like Bonk is looking to go for the refresher himself. Ghost all day, every day. I'm surprised not to see any hearts coming out. Wouldn't hate seeing that on the Razor or the Death Prophet. You know, I gotta say, Genobeam's been doing pretty good this game. He's laid out some really nice fissures. He's now sitting on a Veiled Discord himself. So this is going to be able to increase the magical damage being done. The AC finished by Bristleback. But after all that, wow, a huge, huge experience advantage for the Dire. And only a slight gold lead. Really the only felt advantage in this game is with these lanes. The experience is certainly helping the Dire. Keeping these fights. Has a Silencer up to almost level 21. 21 on the Chaos Knight. This support Undying is level 22. I mean, let's just take a look at this across the board. Rubik 16, yeah, that's pretty normal, but the support Undying actually up to 22. Staying alive just long enough for these team fights. And oh, there comes the dunk from Genobeam. Looking to start something here. The ultimate comes out from the Skywrath Mage, but the silence will actually follow up, and look how fast he melts. Genobeam also being taken down in the space of that ultimate. Orange forced to pop the BKB, but he will still fall as well. Was that? Oh no, the Rubik wasn't even there for the fight. It looks like they're going to try to send Bonk to split push, but oh, the refresh silence, the telekinesis to pick him up, to pull him back. He uses the Yule Scepter. He's going to try to get himself out with that. Using the Shivas, is he just going to be able to straight outrun them? But the Surge coming out onto Rubik, they want to try to get him in range. They want to try to pick him up. There goes the Shivas. Do they have something to stop him? They do. The vacuum is actually going to pull him back, stop him from teleporting out. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Undying's overstays his welcome, as is the Chaos Knight. Wow, this could be huge if they're able to pick him up. They could look to just take this the other way. Rubik trying to lend support wherever he's able to. Will actually wind up throwing back the Bristle to go on the Razor, who had to buy back. Back and forth team fights all around. What an exciting game. Great initiation there by the Earthshaker to start that fight, but you just saw how much damage came out from the Silencer, from the Chaos Knight. For a hero you don't see all that often, he really is showing himself to be a force to be reckoned with. He doesn't feel like a weak hero, he doesn't feel like a tier 2 hero. SG taking advantage of this hero's strengths, using him to help initiate this around people, to get them cut off from the rest of their team, put them in uncomfortable positions. And they're able to capitalize off of it. It really is part of what's keeping them in this game. Now the Silencer up to 30 int stolen. Looking for another item. 1600 gold for him. At this point, he's probably going to wind up saving the buyback money. Aggressive wards coming out here. But great wards from the Dire as well. They really have done a great job keeping vision up. Saw them earlier, they had this sort of area completely warded by having one on the ruin spots, as well as one put here. And now you can see they're just looking to be defensive with it. Placing a ward off of the little hill, trying to avoid the D ward. Very smart play from them. So earlier, where this ward was key in knowing that they had to be prepared for the fight on the Roshan pit, but another fight happening here in the bottom lane. The Silencer ultimate comes out, is looking to disrupt this team fight just a bit, trying to give Darkseer the ability to lead. Get himself out. Wall has been used. 90-second cooldown now. And really, while some ultimates have been used here, there is no refresher up for Death Prophet. Sitting on that level 25, now down to 4 Bloodstone charges. But really, they're going to step up. They're going to try to take this lane, but this could be an awful fight for them to take a look at that. The Spirits come back. The ultimate being dropped by Skywrath Mage, but it isn't worth much of anything there as it hits multiple people. Leviathan in a bad spot. But so is the Undying, who actually gets torn down. Orange looking to do as much damage as he can. Pops the BKB. The dunk from Genobeam, stunning up the Chaos Knight. Is it going to be enough? He's only able to get the BKB off at super low health. He will wind up falling. And unfortunately, there's just not enough there. Undying forced to buy back. Orange doing as much damage as he can to try to get himself into this base. He looks to go and press into the base, going for the Rubik. He decides to back off. He wants to try to get some damage on this tower, but Undying just being obnoxious. Body blocking the damage there, keeping himself the target, but if he falls here after the buyback, it's going to be really tough. Come back, but oh, a great vacuum onto the Shivas, and that could open up some opportunities here. Darkseer gets some, they're not able to pursue. Bonk on very little health. He is going to be able to run himself out. Meanwhile, Orange looking to try to do what he can on low health. He does have a BKP available. Undying wants to keep this going, but what is he really going to be able to do? This is where you wouldn't hate seeing a Rod of Atos on him, or perhaps a completed Sheep Stick, but just hasn't been able to afford that kind of money. And the pursuit goes on. They really want the Razor. You can tell just how important it is for them to kill these cores. They're going to use the Shivas. They needed it. But will the stun be enough? Geno Beam lands a beautiful fissure, splits them up. And oh no, the Rubik, the plays. That was an earned double kill right there. A beautiful steal, and I have to give a shout out here to Red Hook. He has had some great steals this game. Not only has he gotten great spells, but he's just used them so effectively. For the number of times he's gotten that fissure, I want to say he's had a major play with it for every single steal. Now, oh no, Bristleback trying to go in here, but he actually might find himself in a tricky situation. The tankiness, though, is buying him enough time. They're completely distracted by this. And oh no! They actually lose the courier. Bristleback catches it with the Warpath stacks. It's actually going to be able to do enough damage there. The ultimate comes out from Silencer. They look to pursue. Going in on Striker OD. He is a little bit tankier than he would be without the Rod of Atos, and it's able to help keep him alive. But the Bristleback, for all the work he's tried to do here in killing off the courier, he is actually going to survive. They're not able to get anything else off of that. But this is the problem.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
For all that, they still wind up losing one of their tier 4 towers.
Radiant's bottom tower
But this is great to see. This is what they have to do. It's not about winning the team fights for SG. It's about taking the objectives. It's about doing permanent damage to the Radiant side of the board. They take out one of the tier 2s. Been sitting there taunting them for the entirety of the game. Able to take them down, and now they look to go in on the tier 3s. Man, they don't have a Razor ultimate, but who needs it when you have 1,000 illusions just beating down the tower? Silencer goes ham, the 4-staff in. Don't know whose it was, but puts him in sort of an uncomfortable position. Doesn't matter. Wow, Elena Vrax has actually been taken by SG. Amazing play for them, but oh no, the dunk, it comes out. Is it going to be enough to pick up the Undying? It is. And now the pursuit coming out. The Ghost being popped. The Exorcism looking to do as much damage as it can. Silencer will drop the ultimate and then die while trying to teleport out. Chaos Knight will also be caught here. Will he fall? Trying to use that movement speed. I don't see how he survives. Pops the BKB even. What second charge was that? The 9 seconds to try to get out here? He's looking to try to get the surge. The vacuum to pull back. Darkseer trying to keep his teammate alive, but they ignore him. They don't even care. They continue the pursuit, and he actually just winds up sacrificing his own life in the process. Rubik now the only hero alive for the Dire, doing what he can to save the last tier 4 tower. It's a tough spot. They have the buybacks. Does Silencer. That's what's really most important. Dying there in that bottom lane. He cannot. But the Radiant don't necessarily know. They're going to play this safe, and I like it. They're going to look to do Roshan. Hey, we have a minute, guys. Let's get the Aegis. It's helped out a lot in the team plays they've had previously. You don't want to get themselves into a bad position. This Roshan does have the cheese.
Roshan has fallen.
Looks like Bonk's going to take that snack for the next team fight. Back up to 8 charges. All over the place with these charges. It's been a roller coaster game for the Bloodstone. But this is great. I think I actually like this better than SG taking top or middle. Yeah, they would be able to sort of equalize out the lanes, but BMZ, they've really gotten to just sort of do whatever they want around the board because they've had the creep advantage. Now, finally, they have something that they have to worry about and contest. They do have heroes that can pretty easily clear out the creeps. So not as pesky a problem as it is for SG, and it's 1 lane as opposed to 2. But hey, if they don't pay attention, they don't mind this bottom lane, they're going to lose some of these beautiful spa pools for after the game. Heaven's Halberd picked up by Bristleback. I like this. The problem is really just going to be knowing which is the real Chaos Knight. Down to the 8-second BKB. It's nice at the 56-minute mark to have such a long BKB. It did waste a 9-second charge, but hey. 8 seconds still pretty good. Bot's actually picked up for the silencer. It looks like he's going for a sheep stick. I like that idea. I also dig the ultimate orb first. Just trying to go for the durability. Looking to survive. Didn't mention, but this is the richest little Earth Shaker. He's got himself an Aghanim Scepter. So looking for the double echoes. Interesting that he didn't go for Refresher. I guess he doesn't really have the mana pool for it. But that could be a really devastating pickup with the kind of fissures he's been able to get off, the kind of Echo Slams he's been able to get. Here we go. Oh, it actually is SG. I was going to say this could be their last stand, but they are looking to play this defensive at all. They're looking to initiate themselves. The silence comes out. Darkseer's taking a lot of damage. He looks to vacuum. He has the wall out. The double silence comes out now. What kind of state are we in here? Orange is almost out of mana, and oh no, the Bristleback gets absolutely demolished. Exorcism comes out, but whose is it? Oh, it's not the Rubik's. He hasn't stolen it. He will actually just get demolished. Falling to those spirits, but oh no. Chaos Knight, he's coming in. He gets a 4-second stun. Is it enough damage? He just isn't tanky enough. He's just not even able to right-click. Razor using that E-Blade. Able to save himself. Able to sit there with the ultimate on. An odd item choice. Showing himself to be super effective against the Chaos Knight. It's not every day you see an E-Blade. Purchased on a Razor, but hey, made it work. Poor Chaos Knight just ran in circles there, and now being used aggressively. Orange, is he going to overstay his welcome? He's just sitting here on the Undying. Isn't able to get those right clicks off. He finally will. Now looking to go in the Tombstone, but that's just the Aegis anyway. Do they still have the cheese? That's the question. They do. Some friendly fountain diving. I have the sneaky suspicion that SG, I don't know, like, ran over BMZ puppy or something. He seemed to be a little campy, a little all chatty this game, but it's pretty easy to see the emotions running high in a game like this, where the Radiant will finally take the lead after having both of those lanes. So there you go, victory for BMZ. This is a best of 2. SG, after that strong start, will actually drop game number 1. But stick with me, guys. We're going to have game number 2 coming up next.